Well, I mean, it's been extraordinary because one minute he's been saying he wants to come, the next minute he's saying he can't come because of his ill health, and then yesterday it was announced again, not officially through Kensington Palace, but through TCZ.
Public service, it's a bright, sharp, hot spotlight, and most people don't understand it, nor should they. The thing that I always keep in mind is that none of this is about us in public service. It's about the people that we serve.
You know, 3 days before our wedding, we got married.
When Meghan Markle and Prince Harry tied the knot at Windsor Castle in 2018, they'd already exchanged vows. In their CBS interview with Oprah Winfrey, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex revealed that they officially tied the knot at home days before the royal wedding.
And when you've been through any level of pain or trauma, I believe part of our healing journey, certainly part of mine, is being able to be really open about it.
Grab your teacups, because today it's hotter than ever. Rumors are swirling that Meghan Markle may have a secret daughter, and the fallout has Prince Harry breaking down like never before. From cryptic Instagram posts to leaked documents and whispers of betrayal, this could be the biggest royal scandal yet. Stay tuned to the very end, because you won't believe the twists and turns this story takes. You don't want to miss a single detail.
Being proud of their kids and so on and so on. But the way that Meghan and Harry have gone about shielding their kids from us, talking about how they can't be bullied and leave them alone, yada, yada, yada. For her to go out and now start debuting them in little pockets for With Love Meghan Season 2.
Days before the royal wedding, Meghan told Oprah that they reached out to the Archbishop of Canterbury, who officiated their televised ceremony, to make things official a little earlier.
We called the Archbishop and we just said, look, this spectacle is for the world, but we want our union between us.
Meghan said they really cherish that intimate backyard ceremony and have their vows from it displayed at home.
The vows that we have framed in our room are just the two of us in our backyard with our...
To a T. I mean, very well. It wasn't until she started to make her positions clear and continuously play the victim from the palace.
Now revealing why she left during her second season.
I ended up quitting the show. I was so much more than what was being objectified on the stage. I didn't like feeling forced to be all looks and little substance.
Meghan details what went on behind the scenes during her latest podcast titled Breaking Down the Bimbo.
There were different stations for having your lashes put on or your extensions put in or the padding in your bra. There was a very cookie-cutter idea of precisely what we should look like.
Rumors are flying again. And this time, they might just be the most explosive yet. Word on the street is that Meghan Markle has a secret daughter, and the whispers are so loud they've got Prince Harry breaking down in tears. Honestly, this could be the Sussex brand's biggest scandal to date. Montecito is practically buzzing with gossip right now, louder than Meghan's PR team on a caffeine rush. Forget failed business deals or awkward podcasts that nobody asked for, this rumor is way juicier. The story goes that there's a full-grown woman who's been hidden from the world like some forgotten royal footnote, and now the rumor has blown up like wildfire. Insiders say Harry is devastated, and honestly, are we even surprised? It all started with a suspicious little leak on social media. Grainy old photos from Meghan's pre-palace days. Picture bad lighting, low-rise jeans, and that heavy mid-2000s eyeliner everyone regrets. At first, people thought it was just tabloids recycling Meghan's party girl. Spotted something strange. A young girl always in the background of those photos. Same eyes, same smile, that signature Markle smirk. And just like that, the internet detectives went full CSI.
Have you talked to Meghan since?
I have not.
Do you think you should interview her?
Let's get them both in front of a camera. I have a few supplementary questions. First question would be, so let me get this straight. The royal family were racist about the skin colour of your unborn baby. This is what you said to Oprah Winfrey. And they also were so disgustingly callous that a senior member of the Buckingham Palace team told you, Meghan, you couldn't get help for having thoughts, even though your husband was a figurehead for a mental health charity. These are two unbelievable claims. I mean, shocking, horrific. If those things are true, the whole royal family should be disbanded.
They started digging through everything. Old modeling rosters, backstage snapshots, even dusty MySpace pages Meghan probably prayed had vanished. What they uncovered was a trail of breadcrumbs, cryptic mentions of my baby girl in emails, whispers about a little one, and even a 2007 interview where Meghan laughed about already feeling like a mom sometimes while playing with her nephew. Chills, right? Because if you put all those pieces together, it starts looking a lot less like gossip and more like a secret trying to stay buried.
I think probably it was different several years ago, where I couldn't be as vocal and I had to wear nude pantyhose all the time. Let's be honest, that was not very myself. I hadn't seen pantyhose since movies in the 80s when they came in the little egg. That felt a little bit inauthentic, but that's a silly example. But it is an example of when you're able to dress the way you want to dress and you're able to say the things that are true and you're able to show up in the space really organically and authentically.
It didn't take long before the tabloids pounced like vultures. Headlines screamed, Markle's secret daughter, and royal scandal explodes over hidden child. Within hours, hashtags like secret Sussex and hashtag hidden daughter drama were trending worldwide. Meanwhile, Harry was reportedly nowhere in sight. Sources whispered that he had locked himself away in the Montecito Mansion's so-called meditation room, which, let's be honest, it probably doubles as a panic room with overpriced floor pillows, sobbing while Meghan's PR team scrambled to shut the story down. But the funny thing about scandals, the harder you try to bury them, the louder they roar.
Just the two of us in our backyard with the Archbishop of Canterbury, and that was the piece that...
Just the three of us.
Meghan and Harry made the surprising revelation while giving Oprah a tour of the backyard of their Santa Barbara home. The family recently rescued hens from a factory farm and set up a coop for them, a longtime dream of Meghan's.
She's always wanted chickens.
But you know, I just love rescuing.
And the area included the cutest touch for their 1-year-old son, Archie.
I love your little designer house here. Archie's chicken. Oh, how cute is that?
And just when things couldn't get messier, one of Meghan's old acting buddies, we'll call her Amy, steps in with a jaw-dropping claim. Amy said Meghan once admitted she'd made some choices in her younger years that she was desperate to keep hidden. She was terrified the press would dig them up and destroy her carefully curated image. According to Amy, Meghan became obsessed with locking down her private life the moment she set her sights on Harry. And who can blame her? That polished feminine princess brand doesn't exactly fit well with the idea of a hidden daughter lurking in the shadows, now does it? And poor Harry. Honestly, you almost feel bad for him here. This man gave up his entire royal family, the titles, the duty, the whole crown and castle life, just to protect Meghan and their children. And now, he's being hit with whispers that he might not even know the full truth about his own wife's past. Like, can you imagine the emotional toll?
Mom, I think it's 11. Okay. 11, go.
Meghan, open the case.
For Meghan, though, the reality is this. You can't build an empire if you're burning through the very foundations holding it up. No glossy Instagram carousel, no carefully staged Netflix doc, no lifestyle brand full of wellness quotes can cover up cracks this deep. If anything, the more polished it looks, the more suspicious people get. Then came the twist no one saw coming. The alleged daughter herself might have tried to speak out. That's when this anonymous Instagram account popped up, claiming to be the forgotten Sussex. The captions alone were wild. Cryptic little messages like, she said I'd understand one day, and bloodlines aren't always chosen. At first, everyone brushed it off as some troll desperate for clout. But then boom, a childhood photo dropped. And not just any photo. The resemblance of Meghan was downright chilling. Same almond-shaped eyes, same cheek structure, even that signature Markle smirk with the tiny left side dimple. The internet went into full meltdown mode like CSI Royal Edition. And across the pond, The palace was living for it. Word is they were watching this chaos unfold in smug silence, maybe even popping open champagne. To them, it was karmic poetry at its finest. Remember, Harry and Meghan had spent years lobbing lawsuits, bombshell interviews, and Netflix confessions at the monarchy like grenades. Now their own brand was imploding over one rumor. You can practically picture Prince William smirking into his teacup, thinking, we didn't even have to lift a finger.
The monarchy should end. An odd thing happened. Prince Harry writes his book, full of incendiary claims and allegations. Do you know the two things that he didn't put in the book? The racism and the mental health stuff. It was like it never happened. And when he got asked about the racism, he said, oh, that was a media invention. So my first question would be, what happened to those claims? I think the damage those two have done to the royal family has been incalculable. The fact they were doing it as Prince Philip was dying and then the Queen was dying, the fact that King Charles has cancer now and doesn't speak to his son, all of it is horrendous. And here they are over here in California running around using their royal titles to make millions of dollars. And it's honestly, it's sickening.
So how did Meghan respond? Exactly how you'd expect. A glossy PR-crafted denial, polished within an inch of its life and delivered through a lifestyle magazine. No raw emotion, no clarity, just the usual robotic fluff that made her sound like she was reading off a script. But behind closed doors, insiders say it was a total meltdown. Meghan allegedly screamed at her staff, canceled public appearances, and blew up her PR team's phones at all hours. And the harder she tried to bury it, the bigger the story grew. Once this rumor caught fire, it spread like gasoline-soaked gossip. No amount of yoga quotes or soft-focused family pics could put this genie back in the bottle. Their empire was built on controlling the narrative, and now that control was slipping straight through their fingers. Just when people thought the drama couldn't get any messier, it did. Because the alleged secret daughter didn't stay silent. She spoke out, and the way she did it? Calm, cold, almost too calm, which honestly made it even scarier. Late one night, that same mysterious Instagram account dropped a video. No flashy edits, no music, just a girl against a plain white wall, staring right into the camera like she had been waiting for this moment her entire life. She never even mentioned Meghan's name. She didn't need to. All she said was, "You always told me to stay hidden because my existence would ruin your crown." Then she flashed that same sly, lopsided grin Meghan always pulls on red carpets. And let me tell you, that smile alone was enough to send chills down everyone's spine. The clip was under 30 seconds, but it detonated like an online bomb. Within an hour, it racked up millions of views. By the next morning, it was everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, even mainstream news outlets. People weren't just gossiping anymore, they were convinced. Side-by-side comparisons of Meghan and the girl flooded timelines. Folks were analyzing nose shapes, eye spacing, dimples. It looked less like internet chatter and more like a full-blown crime scene investigation. The hashtag Meghan's secret daughter hit #1 worldwide. Even major American news networks, which usually play it safe with the Sussex coverage, were reporting it. One anchor went so far as to say, if this is true, it's the biggest royal scandal since Edward VIII ran off with Wallis Simpson. And honestly, they weren't wrong. The palace? Silent. And honestly, they didn't need to say a word because the damage was already done. Sometimes silence speaks louder than any official statement. And in this case, it screamed volumes.
And when you've been through any level of pain or trauma, I believe part of our healing journey, certainly part of mine, is being able to be really open about it. And I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience, but I do think that I would never want someone else to feel that way. And I would never want someone else to be making those sort of plans, and I would never want someone else to not be believed. So if me voicing what I have overcome will save someone or asks or encourage someone in their life to really genuinely check in on them and not assume that the appearance is good so everything's okay, then that's worth it. I'll take a hit for that.
Meanwhile, back in Montecito, things were falling apart fast. Insiders claimed that Harry had what could only be described as a full emotional breakdown. He supposedly stormed out of the house barefoot, jumped into his car, and drove aimlessly along the California coast. Witnesses said he eventually ended up sobbing in his car at some lonely beach parking lot, looking like a tragic Nicholas Sparks character brought to life. Neighbors even spotted him later, hoodie pulled up, pacing around their gated community with his face red and swollen, refusing to talk to anyone. The imagery alone is heartbreaking, but it's also telling. Here's the brutal truth. Harry has spent years branding himself as the ultimate protective dad. the man who would do anything to shield his wife and kids. But now the whispers are saying he didn't even know about his wife possibly having another child. Can you imagine the humiliation? It's the kind of ego-shattering blow no therapy session, no wellness retreat, not even 1,000 Zoom calls with Oprah could fix. His entire identity as a husband and father is being called into question, and that has to sting on a level most of us can't even imagine. While Harry spiraled, Meghan allegedly went into full-blown damage control mode. And from what sources say, it wasn't pretty. PR flacks were reportedly summoned to the mansion at 3 a.m. sharp. Phones were buzzing non-stop. Tabloid editors, talk show producers, even influencers who had once thrown her a kind word online. Meghan wanted that video gone, erased, buried deep. But here's the thing Meghan never seems to get. The harder you try to mellow down a scandal, the louder it screams. And this one? It was screaming all over the internet. Every attempt to silence the story only made people more suspicious. And her polished denials? They came off about as believable as a Hallmark movie plot. Pretty on the surface, but flimsy underneath.
And when you've been through any level of pain or trauma, I believe part of our healing journey, certainly part of mine, is being able to be really open about it. And I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience, but I do think that I would never want someone else to feel that way. And I would never want someone else to be making those sort of plans, and I would never want someone else to not be believed. So if me voicing what I have overcome will save someone, or asks or encourage someone in their life to really genuinely check in on them, and not assume that the appearance is good so everything's okay, then that's worth it. I'll take a hit for that.
Then came the twist no one saw coming. A journalist, one of the very few people Meghan still trusted, stepped forward to defend her publicly. But instead of helping, they slipped up badly. They insisted the girl in the video had no legal claim to the Sussex name. And everyone watching went, wait, what? Nobody had been talking about legal claims until that exact moment. It was like trying to put out a fire while holding a can of gasoline. It only made things worse. Instantly, the internet seized on it. Why bring up legal status unless there was something real worth hiding? Why not just say, this is fake and move on? That single slip cracked Meghan's PR wall wide open and sent the conspiracy machine into overdrive. Meanwhile, across the pond, the palace was reportedly loving every second of it. One royal insider even allegedly told a journalist off the record, the House of Windsor never even had to lift a finger. They just waited, and the Sussex brand imploded on its own. Brutal, but can you imagine them sipping their tea in smug silence, watching everything fall apart without having to even say a word? And here's the cold, hard reality. Whether the rumor is true or not, the damage is already done. Meghan and Harry's picture-perfect family image was shattered like glass. Every photo of them holding Archie and Lilibet now comes with a shadow hanging over it. Every glossy magazine cover celebrating their fairy tale love story suddenly looks like satire. They built their empire on controlling their own narrative, but instead of owning it, they've completely lost control. And the world is watching, laughing, and taking notes. Insiders are saying Harry's trust in Meghan has been completely shattered. Apparently, he's demanding proof, private documents, anything to confirm that this alleged daughter isn't real. But Meghan, she refuses to even entertain the idea, which is only making things worse. Their arguments are said to be so intense that staff have reportedly been told to clear out of the house whenever the shouting starts. Think about that for a second. The same man who gave up his royal destiny, his entire family, and the comforts of palace life to protect Meghan is now questioning if she's been hiding a royal-sized secret all along. The irony is almost too much to take. And just when everyone thought this circus couldn't get any wilder, another bombshell dropped. An anonymous user leaked what they claimed was a heavily redacted California birth certificate dated years before Meghan ever met Harry. The mother's name on it? Rachel Markle. And for anyone who forgot, that's Meghan's real name. Now, was the document legitimate or just some cruel fake? No one could say for sure. But the timing was brutal. Within minutes of it hitting the internet, timelines were charted, conspiracy boards lit up, and Meghan's entire pre-royal past was dissected like a frog in a high school biology class. Honestly, it was like watching a global CSI episode unfold in real time.
Also in California, Meghan Markle has just released another podcast in which she talks about leaving the show where she got her first big break. She says she was treated like a bimbo.
It was Meghan Markle's first major TV gig.
Meghan, open the case.
as a briefcase model on the game show Deal or No Deal. 16 years later, the Duchess of Sussex is now revealing why she left during her second season.
I ended up quitting the show. I was so much more than what was being objectified on the stage. I didn't like feeling forced to be all looks and little substance.
Today, two of Meghan's former castmates are hitting back on social media. Deal or No Deal never treated us like bimbos, writes Claudia Jordan. I'm especially protective of Howie Mandel, who was nothing but kind and respectful. Patricia Cara, who appeared in every episode, also tweeted, "Funny, I remember a group of hardworking, strong-minded, independent women." Meghan says she wants more for her daughter with Prince Harry, 16-month-old Lilibet.
I want my Lily to want to be educated and want to be smart and to pride herself on those things.
Meanwhile, Hollywood started to quietly back away. Brands that once bent over backwards to work with Meghan suddenly went silent. The shiny power couple aura she and Harry once had was fading fast, replaced by a dark cloud of scandal that not even Netflix could spin into a glossy redemption arc. And here's the tragic irony of it all. They claim they left the royal family to find peace and privacy, but now their entire lives are consumed by publicity, even when it's tearing them down. That's the ultimate plot twist, and it's not the fairy tale they were hoping for. As for Harry, the cracks are really starting to show. Sources claim he's been reaching out to old friends, the same ones he cut off when Meghan came into the picture. These were the same people who warned him she might not be what she seemed. The very same friends he once accused of not supporting him. And now, he's reportedly asking if they'll forgive him, if they'll talk again, if they'll help him pick up the pieces. Because the reality is finally sinking in. If Meghan truly kept something this massive from him, then he gave up everything. His crown, his country, his family, for someone who never told him the full truth. And that's not just heartbreak, that's betrayal on the deepest level. But maybe the most chilling part is this. The alleged daughter has gone silent. Not one post, not one video, nothing since that eerie first clip. And that silence is almost worse than the noise, because it means one of two things. Either she's been silenced behind the scenes, or she's just biding her time, waiting for the perfect moment to come back and drop the final piece of proof. That kind of proof could obliterate the Sussex empire in one single blow. And the world, it's watching, waiting, holding its breath. Because if that day comes, it won't just destroy Meghan's brand, it could end Harry and Meghan completely.
Happy birthday to you. Archie, you want to blow out the candles?
Oh my.
And there you have it, the latest royalty that's got the world talking non-stop. If Meghan's secret daughter rumors turns out to be true, this could completely change everything for Harry and Meghan. Do you believe the whispers, or is it just another tabloid storm? Let us know your thoughts down below. And if you love today's tea, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and join us for the next hot cup of tea you definitely don't want to miss.